Yes, and welcome back.
And in attending the peak of the National Children's Day celebration in Pekanbaru, President Joko Widodo amused the young crowd with magic tricks. The president also held his trademark quiz that offered the chance to win a free bicycle.
Still bicycle, yeah?
Still bicycle.
Let's go take a look.
Accompanied by First Lady Iriana, President Joko Widodo attended the celebration of the National Children's Day in Pekanbaru on Monday. The attendees, who came from 34 provinces, wore traditional garments of their respective provinces in front of the thousands of children. The president, helped by the First Lady, performed magic tricks to entertain the young crowd. Aside from that, there is also the president's trademark quiz with bicycles as the prize. Also attending are Vice President Joseph Kala and his wife, as well as the Minister of Women Empowerment and Children Protection, Johanna Yembis.
Has just celebrated its National Children's Day. This year's celebration highlights happiness as the theme. And basically it means Indonesians tentang kebahagiaan masa anak-anak. And besides giving the happiness that the children deserve, we also have to prepare them for the future.
I couldn't agree more, that's right. And sitting with us today is a person who works closely with children and teenagers, and as a teacher, Martaki Aryo. Hello.
Hello.
Now, the theme is happiness. Okay. Why do you think this year's theme is happiness?
Because happy probably these days.
True.
I mean, I'm not happy, that's for sure.
It's okay.
No, if you go online and go to social media, which the kids are really using it, you can see there's a sense of lack of happiness in social media. Yeah.
Because from what they post online, or because they're just constantly being on the technology?
Not only their postings, but the responses.
Oh,
the responses. It's humiliating responses. It's degrading responses.
Okay.
Hatred also. Sometimes, people just getting mad.
Yes.
Like me. But, okay, before we get into that, happiness on its own, what does that mean when it comes to children?
I think children they need to spend their times playing outside. Okay, not just sitting around with gadgets and tablets and phones, but they need to go outside. They need to physically active. That's why President Jokowi
gives them bicycles
of these kids books and bicycles.
Yeah. But why bicycle by any chance? I mean, since we every time he has a quiz, he gives bicycle.
To adults and even children.
I think this is his position. He sees that these millennials generations, they need to go outside more often and get a really social life.
To interact with people
real
also.
life. To interact with people. So this is why
he gives out bicycles.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's
but
very
when we
good.
talk about issues faced by a lot of these children nowadays, right? Younger all the way to maybe about 16 or 17. What is the main issue that they face right now in this generation?
The internet.
The internet.
The internet. The proper app or
Social media.
Improper app.
Yeah, improper app, exactly.
Yes.
But is that good or bad, actually?
Yeah, well, it's always new technology always bring two sides of the coin.
There's also pro and cons, basically,
yes,
right?
Always. But we cannot just neglect the usage of this technology because once you said no to these generations, they go mad, they go upset. That is one. The second one, in their future life, like 20 years from, they're going to use technology. Even in my school, we don't have IT lessons.
You don't have IT lessons?
We don't have IT lessons because IT should be embedded. This IT literacy
in our daily,
should be
every
embedded
subject.
to all subjects.
Okay. But when you compare to the olden days, when we used to go to school, we used to go to school in the olden days, because I'm pretty young.
Yeah, I'm still
and, back then, they don't use technology. But people turned out fine, And right now you see a lot of these children with, extra big tantrums. I mean, I'm a mother of a 4-year-old boy. And I think he's at that age where, he runs around and things like that. But when you compare and you ask to the older people, like say my relatives, they would say that children in the olden days do not behave that way. And then they blame technology for that.
Yeah, I think that's a classic response. Yeah, we are using technology. Our generation using technology. Back then, people writing their letters.
Right.
Yeah, we are calling our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, with home phones. Yeah, landline. Okay, but that's already a technology. Yeah, people back then they are using like radio. We are using TV. Back then they didn't have MTV. We had MTV.
It's more into innovation technology.
And that's also
Yes.
development of
Yes.
everybody right now.
Yes. So,
Okay.
but the thing with the internet is everyone is equal in the internet.
Okay.
You can be a very famous vlogger
Okay.
at the internet. You can be just ordinary people, but bringing up funny content and everything.
Or educate, basically.
Yes. The president is not the most popular person in YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of YouTubers that are
That has
much
more
popular
followers,
than- So, but he's the president.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the difference. On the internet, everyone is equal.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, your voice is one voice. The president.
Talk about issues faced by a lot of these children nowadays, right? Younger all the way to maybe about 16 or 17. What is the main issue that they face right now in this generation?
The internet.
The internet.
The internet. The proper app or
Social media.
improper app.
Yeah, improper app, exactly.
Yes.
But is that good or bad, actually?
Yeah, well, it's always new technology. Always bring two sides of the coin.
There's also pro and cons, basically,
Yes,
right?
always. But we cannot just neglect the usage of this technology because once you said no to these generations, they go mad, they go
Right.
upset. That is one. The second one, in their future life, like
They'll be
20
using
years from, they're going to use technology. Even in my school, we don't have IT lessons.
You don't have IT lessons.
We don't have IT lesson because
Okay.
IT should be embedded. This IT
In our
literacy
daily,
should be
every
embedded
subject. Oh, I
to all
see.
subjects.
Okay.
Okay.
But when you compare to the olden days, when we used to go to school,
Well, I
we
mean,
used to go to school in the olden days because I'm pretty young.
Yeah, I'm still
and
okay. I'm
back
still
then
right now.
they don't use technology, but people turned out fine. And right now you see a lot of these children with extra big tantrums. I mean, I'm a mother of a 4-year-old boy, and I always find a
Yes,
way
find
to
a way.
actually use the gadgets.
Yes.
All right, but how as parents, or as adults, can we actually teach them to properly use their gadgets or to guide them?
This generations tends to when we said it might harm you,
They understand.
they understand.
All right.
Yeah.
So using a lot of your words and giving them a lot of understanding.
Yes.
Because back then in the olden days, you're a naughty kid, I smack you.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Did
true.
your parents like that as well?
they were very kind to me.
Oh, all right. Well, my parents never hit me either. But, we see a lot of those kind of
Yeah.
cases.
But they probably really want to.
But they probably really want to. I think so for
I'm
you too.
sure, I was one of this good kid, basically. Well, we're going to take a short break
Yes.
now, and coming up, we'll continue talking about the children
And their future.
And welcome back to the Daily 90.
You're
And
still
we're
with Aryo here, and just now we spoke about technology and happiness of the children.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this question though. Back then, children used to play outside.
Yes.
Okay? And we were playing kites, playing bicycles and all that, and now children are all cooped up at home.
Yes.
All right? And that's why a lot of this schools, the government in fact, actually decided to prolong the school hours so that they have more activities at,
Yeah.
in the school, right? And do you agree with that?
Most part, I agree with that.
Because you're a teacher as well, so maybe
Yeah.
you don't want to stay that long in school either, right? Speaking from a teacher's point of view.
No, I agree with that to some extent because I think that if the school can provide positive activities to the students, let's say the government said that they want to like enrich the the students with religious lessons, like civic lessons, citizenship lessons. So they are feeling their sense of belonging to their religion is higher. Their sense of belonging to the nations is higher. That's probably good. And also, they are talking about this full day school. They said that the program is full day school. Yeah, they say that they're going to provide like extra activity, extra curriculum, extracurricular. Yeah, this is actually good because once they go outside, and no parents at home. Yeah, this time gap between they go home and no parents at home because most parents are busy now.
And
Yeah.
Traffic.
Yeah, so
2 jobs.
yeah, that's why I call it to some extent. Yeah, this is probably good for big cities like Jakarta, like probably Surabaya, probably Medan, Makassar, yeah, Bandung. So because the parents are busy, and this kids, this child knows that the caretakers are working for their parents. They're going to misuse that.
Abuse them.
Yeah, and or abuse
the power.
Yes, abuse the power because no, you're just working to my parents. I
So
can do
don't
whatever I
listen
want.
to you.
Yeah.
But those are for, let's say, probably you talk about, they have more freedom away from their parents.
Yeah.
It's probably for the older age. But what about children of the younger age, let's say, still in elementary school? Don't you think it's, it's important for them to spend more time with, let's say their parents are their mother is a housewife.
Yes.
Is it more important to spend time with their mothers than to be in school?
This is why this kind of perspective. It's like the majority of perspective from the adults.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. This is the thing that this online world, this virtual world, is not virtual for them.
Okay.
It's their real world.
Okay.
This is the real world for them.
Right.
Yeah. So this is like probably our group chat in WhatsApp. That is a virtual world, and we often say that when are we going to meet up?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, in a group chat. Yeah, our generation.
Yeah.
But their generations, they're just happy with that. They think that,
online, basically.
yes, yeah, physical existence is not that important for them.
All right.
Okay, so this is the generation gap. Okay, this is the generation gap. So let's say our parents' generation, they like to go to visit their
Friends,
relatives.
yeah.
Their brothers, their sisters. But we don't really at that stage anymore. Yeah. For us, calling them, having a good chat for 1-2 hours is enough. Probably video call is
That's
enough.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's also happened to this generation, this millennial generations.
They're more advanced than us, actually. It's
Yes,
more like it.
and because they are more connected, that's we call them like hyper connected generations.
Okay.
Yeah, for them, virtual world is the real world.
Okay.
Yeah, that's showing a big difference to the previous generations, especially their grandparents.
If they're not able to, let's say, they live in a virtual world and they're not able to interact with their friends, then they would not know how to, probably in certain circumstances, such as bullying case that recently just occurred, right? Then they don't know what to do because they're just always
one
constantly,
another.
they're just constantly in front of their phones too. And is that good for their brain development now?
I read this research about this how gaming is actually increasing your brain cells activity.
All right.
Okay, so gaming is actually encouraging your brain development.
It improves your brain skills, basically.
So
right?
it makes you smarter, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
in certain cases, basically,
So-
in certain games. Not all games, basically.
No, actually, all games.
Oh.
Yeah, all
In
games.
what
So
perspective?
so that's why probably this is what is lacking from our generation as the parents, new parents. Yeah, probably we don't really know how to map this game. Okay, if you have this game's mapping, there are games that really need your analytical thinking.
Right.
There are games that really need your reflexes, physical reflexes. So. And there are games that actually teaching you something,
Yeah.
good lessons. Okay, in my school we are using several games, to pursue their achievement on let's say to code a program or application.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, in the future, we also have games to get their understanding, better understanding of maths or science.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and it's not only applied to like the smaller kids,
Also adults.
But also adults.
also adults, teenagers.
All
Like,
right.
like I don't really remember what is the formula
Right,
in
right.
chemistry, but there are games too.
But there are other games,
But-
like for example, like fighting games. You
Yeah,
know, there's
violence, is it? And,
Yeah.
you know,
So-
condoning violence.
Yeah, so because we're not there 24 hours for to our
To
kids.
watch our
yeah,
kids,
to
yeah.
watch, yeah, to like supervise their
Right.
their use of technology. Yeah, we give them understanding. Yeah, we cannot just simply say no. That's the key.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, they're going to go tantrum or
Yeah, exactly.
yes,
Exactly.
yes. So we can sing, yeah, provide by our parents. Okay, so let's eat. But this generation said, if I click this, it happened. It will happen. Yeah,
This will
it leads me to this application.
okay.
Okay, if I tap this,
Right.
yeah, it will bring me to something.
So it stimulates your brain and your
Yes.
train of thoughts, which is very, very important.
True.
But what about your social skills, though?
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, this is interesting. That's why, to some extent, I support this full day school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is the school. We're not only chasing, or we're not only pursuing the cognitive skill or cognitive knowledge at school, but we're training them socially. Okay, so that's why we need, what we need is a school that also train, social skill.
Or interactive skills,
Yes.
yeah? So being with one another, being with friends.
Yeah, especially in busy cities, because
That's right.
because if you go home from school in Jakarta, you probably needs like 1 hour, 2
That's
hours to
true.
go home,
Yeah.
to get home. And what happened is when you're at home, for some ambitious parents,
Right.
yeah, they want their kids go to take extra lessons.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so they are exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we just turn this,
Into
turn this,
positive activity, basically.
yes, at school, more
Okay.
effective, more structured,
More structured because there's
the
guidance and
yeah.
supervision from the teachers itself.
Yes, and you can measure the outcome.
Oh, that's
All
true.
right. Well, thank you very much for
Thank you
sharing
very
with us this
much,
morning.
Aryo. Okay, now I can, implement that at
Yeah.
home.
You have to implement, basically.
I have to, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go for a short break. When we come back, suicide bomber struck where?
Police team in eastern city of Lahore. We'll be right back.
Okay.